Welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. The show will begin momentarily.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. This is episode 77. It's the 120th episode. Reminder, nothing on the show is financial advice, nor has it ever been. This week on Number Go Up, we have blockchain technology, innovation, and uses. Taproot was just introduced for Bitcoin. Very interesting thing. Affects privacy, affects a few other things, potentially fees, and some very good tech coming into play. So go check that out, find out more about it. It's always interesting to see what is in development, especially in Bitcoin. And it was actually pretty, maybe at least from the outside, uneventful for drama. So that's pretty good. Next, we go to Dragonchain updates. So this week, there is a new blog post on provable analytics being applied to the advertising industry. We have worked with a few different groups, some of which are public, of course, related to this technology. The blog looks at authentic and provable data sets coming from advertisement. Basically, some of the answers to the issues with click fraud and click farms and all the things that happen, and that most advertising networks don't have real drivers to improve because they profit from what would be fraudulent activity. So some very interesting ideas in there. And how do I say this? Talks a lot about the ability to prove that viewers or clickers are legitimate and not bots. And there is going to be a follow-on article coming soon as well, related to how it's used in Den, but it's a little beyond that, but it's more about behavior. So anyway, really cool stuff. Next, metrics page. Many have been asking about that. We should see metrics in the report tonight. Apologies for some of it. We had multiple things go wrong, including I guess the next subject is the Eternal L5, which the Bitcoin L5 had an issue with the Bitcoin node that's all the way deep into our how it was hosted. And I don't know the details yet, but there was actually a hardware issue. So we're getting that improved. I think we're in fact looking at changing the way. It's a good chance to do a refresh and update. So we've taken a little bit of extra time to make sure that we are going to deploy the new node in a way that is it's definitely cheaper than the way we used to host it, for one, but I'm hoping that it's a little easier to keep updated. Now we don't have to worry as much about forks and updates to the Bitcoin code base itself, things like that. The ETH, this is silly, but it wasn't funded. We ran out of Ethereum based on higher than expected fees. So apologies there, but that is funded. I have heard that it is running, and should be, it's has backlogged transactions, so they will be going out over time. They might already be updated. That was yesterday. We did that fix. So we move to Den.Social updates. First up, Lair Governance. So we're continuing to work. The back end is all but one step away. I've seen the mock-ups for web and mobile already, and they're definitely moving forward. Everything is there. There are a couple of things that are interesting on the difference between what we call a miscellaneous governance issue, which would be something the community might want to decide on outside of the parameters of Den. What who should cater our event, or should we do X, Y, or Z as a group, versus the Den configuration, which is we should increase the reputation requirements for people to post here. We're seeing too much spam, or we should change the banner, or we should do various things all the way down to banning a particular person. That will all be plugged into governance, and the interface therefore is something that it's not a simple thing to figure out, even though the final result hopefully will just look simple. Making good progress one way or another. Next, we have a vote active on changing the frequency of the mint function. And this is something that relates even all the way back to Dragonchain people who are interested not in Den but in Dragonchain, that this is effectively a perfect example of how a business using Dragonchain can pivot or change things based upon outside and uncontrollable events. That is, Ethereum fees have gone through the roof recently, especially certain Ethereum fees related to smart contract interactions. They're more expensive. That is, it's more expensive to send or to call a smart contract function than it is just to send Ethereum. And that's because there are more things happening in a smart contract than a simple token send. So with those fees going up, as you saw in the Dragonchain update, it costs a lot to do these interactions with Ethereum. It's an interchain thing. It's we knew that it was going to cost and be variable, but we have the ability to change the way that we interact with it. And in this case, you can look at the details in the vote. The mining will happen. That is, the mining on Den itself will still happen daily, but the minting, that is the appearance of the new tokens on Ethereum, will only happen once a week. We can reduce our costs by quite a bit. I don't know what the ratio is on that, but it's quite a bit. And we'll see how it works. And we can reverse it if we want later, or we could make it once a month if we wanted later. But I think that's a little bit too much. So anyway, that's on its way. And it is a governance decision for the governance board. So go in there, weigh in, try to, ingest that info, weigh in if you have an opinion on it, and vote if you have a lot in Den governance. So that is over. That vote is over Monday at noon US Pacific. So that's next week, Monday. So get in there before then if you want to vote. Next update, the November 2021 LCP results are in. There were 22 proposals this month, and the winner was the Elon Musk Lair. And if you can see it there, it should be a very interesting lair because, you to imagine SpaceX, Tesla, the mind control devices, I can't remember what they're called, and I'm joking, and the Boring Company, everything related. There's enough cool information, including his crypto Twitter memeing. So, my hope is that we'll end up even with a bot to pull in his tweets and get him memorialized on-chain, persisted on-chain for future generations. So anyway, that'll be there. There were 9.5 million lore applied or committed to that proposal. And with 82 unique voters, it's both the highest in unique voters previously. So it beat Outdoors record, which had 68 before. So we have 82 for Elon. And then it is also the most lore ever applied to a single layer at 9.5 million. It's more than double the 3.7 million for humor. I didn't realize it was humor before. That's pretty interesting. So only one new layer will be created this month because Elon Musk won both the most lore and most unique voters. The proposer of the Elon Musk layer will receive 1,000 lot, the lore of which will be paid for by Dan. Dan is also going to commit, just like we do every month, 10,000 lore to that layer for future giveaways and promotions and whatever else. Hopefully it'll be a cool thing and we'll end up with a really good process, especially now with tipping, where we can start saying, some particular activity would, get you, free lot in the Elon Musk layer. So it'd be cool. Anyway, as a reminder, something important, because this came up last month, you do not have to export or quote unquote claim lot to Ethereum. You don't have to do that. I think we've even changed the language on the buttons in the interface to make it clearer that when you export the lot, they go out to Ethereum, and that would be in the case if you wanted to put them on a hardware wallet, put them in your safe, or if you wanted to take them to OpenSea and trade them or sell them or whatever you want to do with them. But you don't need to do that. The main point is to use them. They will come into your account. You don't have to have a Web3 skills, knowledge, anything. You can just do what you're already doing, and now you have lot in your account, and you will make matter from having that lot, and you will be able, most importantly, at least I think, you will be able very soon to have a good amount of governance, or you'll basically be able to vote on things to manage that layer as a community. So pretty cool stuff. Again, about the reason that there's only one created, we intentionally throttle the number of layers created each month to give the layer best opportunity for growth. And we are going to talk in the Den Governance Board about the possibility of increasing that number. Now, something related to this is the next update, which is a new option to create layers that didn't win. Or maybe it's a change to the way we've done it. This has been there forever. No one has ever taken advantage of it. We think because the pricing was probably too high, maybe. It used to cost a single ether. But right now, what we've decided is to basically make it so that all of the runners up, the first 5 runners up, so in number of unique voters, right? So the first 5 runners up in unique voters, that's number 2 through 6 ranked, can be created after the commit is over. So right now, and I don't know what the window is, but before we do the next LCP, that you can come in, anyone who put lore in one of those proposals in the commitment phase can come in, and we will later have a more formal process, but you can basically just say, declare it in Den support or email us, and we will openly post it. But one way or another, you can say, I want this layer to be created. And the pricing is in this post here, which basically the 5th runner up would cost you 1,000 matter to have that layer created. Now, that matter will go to Den, and in fact, Den Gov will probably have to talk about what do we do with this matter. But that's another subject. We're not going to do anything with it right now. And that all of the lore that was committed during the LCP commit phase by all of the other users would at this point be created to, or would be used to create lot in the same exact way as if it had one. And all the other rules are the same. So it's effectively increasing the number that could happen, but there's a cost. So we can use this to help us measure in the future what the numbers should be that are created. Let's say all 5 of the runner-ups were created this month. Then it's obvious we probably should have more than one layer created in a month, right? And that's one of the measures on how we will do this. And it also puts effectively, it's kind of like a release valve, that here's a way, if you really want to have your layer created, there's a way to do it very quickly and still get a lot of the features of the LCP where you're not paying a monthly lore fee or anything else for a business layer. And there are discounts. So you can see first runner up only has to pay 200 matter, right? It's basically right now, I think $100 worth of matter approximate. So anyway, go in there, check that out, and let us know any of those runners up. If you want those to be created this month, come to us. We'll help you work out all the details, and we'll get this more formalized. But this was something that had been there forever, but we just never really spent time trying to decide what the price should be. So there it is. Okay, now we move out of Den to the World Blockchain Roundtable. We have a lot of updates this week, so sorry about that. Episode 25 is coming up, and it is on blockchain and gaming. So if you can, go there right now, review the existing questions, vote them up, vote them down, whatever's appropriate, and add any new questions you feel are not already handled. And I'll go in there and I'll vote up all of them like I always do, and evenly. I'll vote them up all evenly, and we'll have that show next Thursday afternoon. So let's see here. And then the next is watch and share last week's episode right now. The more views it gets, the more all of the participants, including the people who contribute topics, will get. So, I think we had a lot more views than normal on last week's show on YouTube. And in fact, it was a really good show for content. It was about privacy. And we had some really good guests that knew a lot about some of the existing privacy coins and how things can be used and everything else. It's really good content either way. So go watch that and share it. Next, we have an AMA right after this.
Now, more than ever, our data is at risk. Our supply chains are in jeopardy. Our systems are broken, and businesses feel powerless. Dragonchain gives you a different way, a safer way, a better way, and you have power over your data. Dragonchain gives you proof in an untrusted world. Build now at Dragonchain.com, America's blockchain.
All right, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to look over here. So we have 3 questions that I can answer, and those top 3 questions will get 1 lot each. Hopefully I give you good answers. Babar Rafiq, is it possible that we can see a marketplace like Slumber Swap or the same thing like that to buy or sell time in the future? Could time be converted to a token, or could the limit the time and time use case other than running a node? Okay, so anybody could build. Slumber Swap was not built by us; it was built by others. So anybody could build that at any time. We wouldn't build it, especially because some of the things in the U.S. with both all of the reporting, all the regulations, it is especially with time, simply too unknown what is acceptable or how to handle certain things. So we wouldn't be building that, especially in the way that it was built. And I don't think, in fact, the way it was built, it would probably be too usable right now because the fees would be ridiculous on Ethereum. Now, maybe, well, anyway, you could potentially build it on a different blockchain using Dragonchain, but either way. But as to tokenizing, we've said it on a prior show at some point, or and I've answered sometimes on a couple of for in Den, for example, that the intent, we do have a plan to tokenize time. We do have a plan to allow its easier use, maybe, or more flexible use. It's a very stringent use case right now, and that was on purpose so that you could just keep generating time and not actually do the things that we've laid out to generate time, which incentivize the security and a couple of other interesting points, especially because time is the scarcity on DragonNet. But we think that we have some models that would work now. Some very interesting things with NFTs as an example that would make it very, very doable. And we're waiting for the right timing. And frankly, that timing is not there yet. But I do hope it comes soon, and then we'll you'll know more, right? And other than running a node, probably. By the way, you asked 3 questions. That's not loud, but still, other than running a node. Yes, I mean, there have already been multiple other than running a node, but we've talked about that forever. Okay, Jegs. Any updates on the NFT marketplace? Also, do you hold NFTs? What is the compound questions? Also, it's bad punctuation. Look at this. He also did not capitalize. He did not put a period at the end. It's like, come on, guys. We need to expect better out of you. Yeah, 4.8 thousand energy on that, Jegs. Anyway, let's see here. Updates on the NFT marketplace. It's in development. We're working on some of the security side of it right now. We are, we just added we've added a couple of, I don't know when we announced, we've added a couple of new engineers, or a few new engineers. We have another one coming in soon. So a lot of it is waiting on resources. We have too many things to do. And, one way or another, I'm hoping to accelerate the NFT marketplace. There's a bunch of really cool stuff that looks like we'll be able to integrate it in terms of NFT marketplace integrated with Den. There are a couple of new projects that we're thinking will fit in as well, plugged into it in some standard way. Also to hold NFTs. First of all, I hold a couple of a couple of them that came to me from I don't know where. I had a couple that I bought that aren't worth anything. I'm no good at speculation, especially with NFTs, but whatever, it is what it is. But who knows, and frankly, it's an interesting thing. And I usually try to do things just to make sure I understand how they work and why they work, and to see if there's anything can be improved, or, with the interfaces, with the way, that you buy them and sell them and stuff like that. And obviously I hold millions of lot, right? So that's probably the most important one, in my opinion, because they are functional in several ways. NFTs, very interesting things for access. Number one, for governance, which the power of which is really about to be turned on with the Lair Governance. That's going to be, I think, amazing for the ability for feedback to work within a community and to let a community manage itself, more even than it already does. Because, by the way, on Den, we don't have paid moderators. We don't have to do what we used to have to do on Facebook and Telegram and Twitter, where we'd have to crawl through and remove people impersonating people and people trolling and do all types of stuff that they shouldn't be doing. So those NFTs are going to be remarkably valuable, I think, in utility in the coming months. So it's going to be fun. And you can make money, you can make matter with them too. So anyway, next, crypto enthusiast. With everything being built out by Dragonchain, what part of the tech do you think is being accepted or demanded more by clients? See here. So identity is a big one, obviously. It's still early for that, though, because a lot of times projects don't fully grasp the entire piece, but that's fine. We're hoping, you get little by little. So you add something that is doable, approachable, understandable, and you get that in place, and then the power kind of unfolds. The other thing I would say, frankly, is I mean, Den itself is becoming an attraction that people are asking about how it works, whether it's the advertising model, which is extremely unique and valuable, or whether it's the fact that the moderation, from the outside looks like magic. It looks like somebody's, turning the levers. And well, frankly, a lot of people are, but it's the entire site that's turning those levers. So it's basically people doing the things that they already do in Facebook, but they actually have effect behind the scenes in a very objective way. It isn't some kid in an ivory tower in San Francisco that's deciding that they don't like your political speech. It is literally the people in that community saying, "Oh, this person's a troll or not," right? Anyway, really cool stuff there. And yeah, NFTs, obviously. NFTs, whether it's the enterprise NFTs. I just had a really good conversation yesterday with a group that really needs enterprise smart contract orchestration. That is for anybody technical out there that has Linux experience or Unix experience. It is basically using smart contracts like command line applications that you are able to pipe inputs into or outputs into inputs and make a chain of processing smart contracts. And with all of the other things that you can on Dragonchain, it's pretty interesting because it's remarkably flexible. It's very simple to understand. It's very easy to control. So there's a lot of really neat things going on there. And there's like you mentioned, there's a lot that we offer, and it's exciting these days because we're getting a lot of groups coming to us. It's not us reaching out to them, which we've been waiting for quite a while, but it takes a long process of communication, consistency, and being able to build whatever comes to us. So anyway, so that's 3. They get 1 lot each. We decided I'm going to answer Visos so that no one complains on Telegram. Don't go there. Don't go to Telegram. Go to Den, ask questions on Den. But people tend to complain on Telegram for anybody watching. One way or another, Viso asks, how do you continue to employ someone, blah, 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 blah. We've heard it over and over again, right? And everything he posts here is on the one hand true. Anything that is factual that I'm seeing in here is true. And when people go out there and say, hey, yeah, we're seeing good response, we're seeing good feedback from prospects, from sales prospects, we're moving forward with partnerships, we're doing, but we can't tell you who they are or what they are, people tend to complain. And it's kind of crazy because if you go in crypto Twitter, this is what every project does to some degree, where they say, we're the best, we do this, we're able to do this. And, in our case, at least in my opinion, it is about something that is substantive and something that I think everyone got involved with Dragonchain because of that substance that, our talking about it on the one hand, and then our talking about, and if it's someone on the team, or if it's someone in our community, or if it's a contractor talking about, without, by the way, violating NDA, thankfully, that good things are happening. I don't think people should be complaining or calling them a liar when they have no damn clue what's going on in the real world. They're not behind the scenes. Viso, if you want to know what's going on, put in a substantive request for a job, and if you're hireable for whatever that skill would be, then you would know what it is. But guess what? You'd have to abide by that same NDA. I understand if you get frustrated, but coming on Den and posting to an AMA to promote the very thing that you're complaining about that we're not performing on is probably the stupidest damn thing you could do if that was your actual goal. If you want to improve the project, don't try to embarrass one of the team members. Anyway, whatever. So I'll read this. This is from a crypto enthusiast, maybe. Anyway, you go ahead and read that. He answers it really well. And I agree with the answer. And it's a simple thing. If you're in, you're in. If you're out, you're out. It's up to you. You're free. It's a free free country. I don't know. Generally, depending on where you are, but in this case, at least you can get out of it if you don't want to be in it. It's not up to us, and it's all good. I understand that people get frustrated, but just kind of relax and at least vent to us in private or on Telegram. Keep it all on Telegram. Go to the traders chat. Go there. That's probably the best place for this. So anyway, that's everything. Let's see here. I'm going to do the close out stuff. This month, there is a merch special. Coupon code DEN merch matters with dashes in between. Keep it all lowercase. DEN-merch-matters. This month only, 20% off at the Dragonchain store. So it's dragonchain.store is the URL if you want to go straight there. I think the link is in the description, depending upon where you're looking at it, watching us, that is. And in closing, next week, we'll be back next Tuesday, same time, for Super Happy Dragon Lucky. Do watch for any updates on the World Blockchain Roundtable and Den Governance call, because next Thursday is Thanksgiving in America. So we will have to move those around. I think that the Gov call is going to be on Wednesday, but maybe we shift it. Maybe we move it another week out. We'll figure that out. So we'll watch for those updates though, because it's Thanksgiving week. It's who knows what happens in America at Thanksgiving. So buy Dragonchain and Den merch at dragonchain.store. Go get that coupon code. Watch World Blockchain Roundtable whenever it's on next. Hopefully it's next week. Might be early. We might skip a week. Who knows? Follow Dragonchain, Real Denizens, and me, Jojo Rowe, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on wherever else. And like, comment, subscribe, so on. Thanks a bunch. See you next week.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. Adaptable approach is palpable if this animal is fallible. But that conclusion is laughable, so with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.